Hey, beautiful Starseed souls, it's Olivia here. I want to bring you into a really honest update from the middle of my 3-month fitness plus spiritual development challenge. This week taught me a hard practical lesson about preparation, not just recovery and the layers that show up when we push our physical limits, whilst also expanding our energetic capacity. As you know from last week's update, a postural muscle in my left hip pulled. It's one of those small stabilizer muscles that's working every time the body moves forward. So running immediately became off the table, and even extended walking triggers a little bit of discomfort. I've had a few days where it seemed to calm down and then a small twist would inflame it again. So this is the current reality. I can still do some of my weight training with modifications, but anything that loads or pushes the hip in that forward pattern is a no-go. I share this not to dramatize, but because the practical stuff matters. When your body asks you to pause, the quality of your response determines how quickly and how well you recover. So here's what I'm doing right now, day to day, that's helping me respect the injury while staying on track with the mission. So first, inflammation control. I'm using rest, targeted topical support, and gentle local work. My protocol includes heat to encourage circulation when the acute pain subsides, and herbal muscle relaxant patches to ease tension, and a natural anti-inflammatory rub to keep swelling down. I'm rolling out the surrounding and supporting muscles, including the lumbar area, with a foam roller and massage ball. That helps take pressure off the small stabilizers around the hip. I'm also keeping regular alignment work with my chiropractor, pelvic and spinal adjustments to make sure when I'm compensating I'm not creating secondary problems in the spine, neck or shoulders. And second, modified training. I can still maintain strength. I can do my weight sessions most days. But I'm avoiding running, excessive lunges or any explosive movements that push that left hip into overwork. I warm up on the bike with low resistance, so I maintain circulation and mobility without stressing that muscle. When something pulls, I stop, no ego, no pushing through pain. Third, recovery, nutrition and sleep. This is foundational. When you are injured, your body's recovery demands increase. So I'm prioritizing proteins, creatine and natural anti-inflammatory foods like ginger, leafy greens, berries, all while keeping hydration high as usual. Sleep is obviously a not negotiable because that's where repair happens. If you're doing a long program and you travel or change your schedule, your input has to match your output. Now, that's the practical side out of the way. I want to lean into the other layer, the spiritual and ancestral relationship that's been waking up through this experience. Sometimes being in a fragile human vessel feels limiting to me, especially when you sense lineage traits that are not naturally embodied here. I come from a Lyran line, a soul lineage that carries an archetype of physical strength, stamina and endurance. So in the etheric memory, my ancestors moved with power and presence. So when this fragile human body resists or injured, there's a short, honest disappointment. I want to run, to jump, to move like my ancestors, but the human form has its edges. And yet there's a deeper perspective. You know, I chose this incarnation. I chose this vessel to carry a planetary mission, to anchor higher frequencies, to lift the collective, to help rebuild lineage wisdom and leadership in service of the greater community. Part of that mission is learning to hold strength within limitation. It's learning to be in the bridge between the galactic archetype and this human experience. So while I care for my hip in a very practical way, I'm also leaning further into my energetic training. Every night during sleep and the space before waking, I'm surprised and grateful for the memories that return, the training with the High Priestesses of Meropi, the forms of energy movement that still live inside me. These memories are not only nostalgia, they are activations. They help me remember protocols of mental focus and endurance, ritual and sovereignty that my earthly body can translate into practical training and recovery practices. A powerful shift for me has been remembering that I don't need external ley lines to act as portals. I am the portal. My third eye is a gateway, and when I open that center intentionally through breath, attention and devotion, I allow interdimensional flows to pass. I travel to timelines and dimensions where I gather insights, tools and sometimes just vivid uplifting images that fuel my work here. This isn't separate from my fitness practice. It actually amplifies it. The stronger my energetic field, the more I can sculpt my human body with precision and resilience. There's a practical crossover here. When you strengthen your inner channel, your ability to hold attention, to breathe, to receive, your nervous system also becomes more robust. It handles stress better. It recovers faster. That's not metaphysical fluff. It's embodied neurophysiology. So while I am limiting certain movements right now, I am intentionally increasing my breath work, central channel practices, and visualization protocols that prime the nervous system for repair and for higher frequency embodiment. To be transparent, the astral or multidimensional explorations this week have been deeper than ever before. After being more still, I experienced enhanced astral travel, visiting unfamiliar dimensions, and bringing back practical insights about my energetic architecture. The slight astral hangover effect is easing, and each trip is widening my capacity to anchor frequencies into the physical. I am practicing more care around those journeys, extra rest, grounding rituals, and light nourishment after deep states. Emotionally, this pause has been revealing. Momentum is intoxicating when you're used to moving fast. Being forced to slow down can, initially trigger frustration, resistance, and stories about failure. I had those feelings briefly, but EFT, tapping, and intentional breath paired with clear internal language have been my tools, along with deliberately choosing the long game, aligning with the healing timeline rather than forcing a quick fix has softened any negative emotions. I've also been reflecting deeper on trust. As a light worker and a starseed, I'm expanding into places where I trust my inner guidance implicitly, whilst also protecting my field wisely. That means when the body says stop, I stop. When the body says move, I move. When the body says rest, I rest. And I pair that listening with practical actions. Rolling, nourishment, adjusting training, chiropractic care, and gentle progressive rehab. So one consequence of this week's recalibration is that I'm planning future cycles differently. I will likely follow this 3-month challenge with another round, but with refined goals, more emphasis on mobility, preparation and recovery modalities, smarter travel weeks, and a stronger daily practice for the light body so my energetic bandwidth supports the physical volume. I'm already designing protocols that prioritize longevity over immediate numbers. My focus is less on brute force and more on sustainable power. So for anyone watching who's in a similar spot, injured, forced to pause, or wrestling with the tension between spirit and body, I want to offer a few practical takeaways. Respond, don't react. Pause before you push. Assess the injury. Meet it with curiosity, not panic. Match input to output. And if you increase workload, increase rest, nutrition, and targeted support. Use breath and nervous system tools, central channel breathing, slow diagrammatic breathing, and short breath resets between sets will help inflammation and aid recovery. Modify intelligently, keep strength via alternate movements that don't aggravate the injury, and maintain range of motion safely. Ritualize rest, make recovery sacred. Foam roll, hydrate, sleep, etc. Treat it like part of the program, not an interruption. Keep the field strong, daily energetic filtration, short clearing rituals, and a gradual practice lowers nervous system arousal and protects your bandwidth. And a gentle reminder, if your injury persists or worsens, consult a qualified medical practitioner. What I'm sharing are practical self-care strategies that have worked for me. They are not a replacement for professional medical advice. If you'd like tools for breath work, energetic filtration, and hypnosis for rest and repair and connection, then those are available in the Starseed Siblings app. The Soul Remembrance course includes practices that help you prepare your system, strengthen your field, and support you on a physical, mental, emotional, and energetic level. And if you're traveling or you're in an off-rhythm week, those tools are perfect for daily maintenance. And finally, a heart note. This path is about long-term embodiment. It's about building a vessel that can carry high frequencies without burning out. It's about taking care of the human while expanding into the galactic. I chose this life to serve, to remember, and to anchor a new way of being for future lineages. Injuries and pauses are part of the map. They teach humility, attention, and stewardship of the self. Thank you for witnessing this chapter for me. If you're in a pause right now, know you're still moving forward. If you're training and expanding your energy, be kind to that human body that houses your beautiful work. Drop a comment and tell me what recovery rituals support you when life forces you to slow down. I read every single one. With love, protection, and steady breath, Olivia Tessa Deshu.